Ladies and gentlemen of the RNG Revolution, welcome to the 69th episode of the RNG Cast. I, as always, am Buster Knuckle. Joining me this week are...
Good afternoon, evening. Dear Revolution, this is your boy Raven.
And your buddy known as Alex.
How's it going, guys?
Fantabulous.
How you doing, Alex?
So far, so good, man. Ready to get this keep going. Keep the Destiny 2 train going.
Yeah. You guys well rested? Do you guys sleep well? I really don't know of anything that could have been keeping us up at night, keeping us occupied. I figured this episode we'll just hop into the tick review, talk about Paladins as always. Raven, can you think of anything to talk about?
I don't know. We did have a riveting discussion concerning live action ticks versus the original animation in our Discord. It was a very intriguing conversation. But yeah, I'm not sure. I'm like grasping straws here.
Alex, can you think of something, man? We're totally at a loss for words. We're probably looking at like a 45-minute podcast here.
I just keep seeing wavy eyebrows everywhere I go now. I just don't know what to do.
I actually saw that in life the other day.
Oh God!
I looked over, like we were just standing in line, and my girlfriend was like, "Hun, look," really just quiet, not moving her mouth, and I'm like, "What? Oh my God!" And she was like, "Yeah, right, exactly." I'm like, "Do you see it?" And she's like, "Are they white? Are they wavy?" I'm like, "Yeah, they're wavy, and they're blue."
Oh my God!
I was like, "That's just ridiculous." And then I started giggling, and she was like, "What?" I was like, "We were just talking about that on the last episode of the podcast," and she was like, "How do you know what do you guys talk about?" And I'm like, "I don't know. We just talk about random stuff, and it's kind of fun." And
anything and everything under the sun.
Did something come out this week? Did anything drop this week? It was fantastic, by the way. If you want to go see a good movie, it was fantastic. I loved it.
I'll never watch it, not because horror just isn't quite in my interest, and like I said, my wife will never watch it. So
scared of clowns, huh?
Yeah, she's terrified. She is terrified.
Yeah. Okay.
It is like phobic.
Oh,
she sees a. She's like she seems like the beginning of a bright red nose or something. She's looking away. She can't do it.
Fuck. Let's just drop this bit. We can talk about Destiny 2. How about that, guys? We had you guys going. For those of you who listened for the first 2 minutes and 55 seconds of that bit, thank you. Thank you for not turning it off. We're going to talk about Destiny 2.
For the others that have left, please ask how it went, because trust me, come on. Come on. But yes, D2 dropped. It was a thing. It is happening. It has begun.
Before we start this, I promise this, a big shout out and a thank you to the Revolution member, Fred Bob Bazooka. What happened was, my car's transmission died. So I had to make a choice. Do I get my car fixed, or do I get Destiny 2? Car fixed, Destiny 2. Well, apparently the car fix won. Not because I chose it, but because the Lady Buster chose. She looked at me and she's like, "You're going to get your car fixed, right?" I'm like, "I guess I'm going to get my car fixed." So, I tweeted that out. Real life happens. Fred Bob Bazooka hits me up on our Discord and he's like, "I can't help you with the transmission, but I can help you with this." Drops the code. I'm flabbergasted, okay? I never thought that this would happen. I'm like, I'm just a dude who talks about video games and you guys listen, which I am super grateful for. And, I thanked him a lot. And he was like, "Listen, man, it's for my own personal well-being, because I want you to talk about the game, because I like to listen to you guys talk about the game." So, I felt beholden to play Destiny 2. Not because, everybody knows how I felt about it with the beta. I said, I'll see what it's like. If I like it, I like it. And if I don't, I don't. I'll give it a try. 20 levels later, plus 239, 40 light. I am back.
Ooh.
They said, oh, Buster Knuckle loves to go patrolling, so let's make patrol super deep. Let's give him dungeons and adventures to go on and characters to love and hate. By the way, there's a couple characters I can't stand. The guy on IO, for example.
Yeah, I was just about to say Failsafe and Asher.
What?
I can't stand. I like Failsafe.
Oh, he didn't.
Asher, I don't like.
I think
Oh,
Asher's
okay, Failsafe.
hilarious.
Okay.
Failsafe,
See,
I can see.
I was going by the beta. Like the first moment Buster heard Failsafe in the beta, I don't like her. Shut up. Go away. It's like,
It's weird.
calm down, man. Calm down.
Yeah. Asher, I don't like Asher. I want to punch him.
Asher's
Can't talk about Zavala like that. Don't talk about Zavala like that.
Yeah, but at the same time, this is a man that is surviving
Yeah.
being vexified. So
Yeah, very true. So I'm gonna say it now. Spoilers.
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 Spoilers at 6 minutes and 10 seconds. Spoilers. And
We're gonna be talking, and we talk a lot. Spoilers.
With the campaign, if you haven't finished the campaign, spoilers. Look in the notes. I will put when the spoiler ends. And holy shit, this story was fantastic.
Oh yeah.
The opening still gives me chills. Still.
Yeah.
The ghost talking to you, fantastic. Oh my god, it was so good.
I felt so bad.
Yeah.
Like the moment the light gets ripped out of you and you find the ghost, Ghost sounds freaking depressed for the first 30 minutes of the game. It's like, wow, man, holy crap.
Well, I mean,
Did anybody else feel like they were actually tired and like when they were walking, like you actually felt like you're beat up? Like, fuck, man, what do I do? I'm lost. I'm scared.
The Exodus mission, I thought it was a stealth mission. Like I was ducking under, I was like hiding in shadows when the light went overhead. I was like, no. You know what I mean? Like it's just a straight walk till you find your ghost who's light brighten you. Like, where is he? Where are they? Oh my god, where are they? But let's go back to the start. The memories.
Oh yeah.
That I saw names that I haven't talked to. I don't even think I have them on my friends list anymore. I saw Munch. Munch, we miss you. Come back. I saw Munch's name. I saw the first time I think the first and only time I went to the lighthouse. The Prison of Elders. I saw all the great moments, and it was so well done. Because it was like, remember this? Remember these guys? Remember these guys? Remember when you did this? Remember when you got pulled through the vaulted glass? You didn't even know what you were doing? Remember all that? It gave you a good dose of member juice before Gaul kicks you off of a ship. And then the credits roll. Which, I love how they do the homecoming and then the game starts.
Yeah.
The bird soaring, the bird made of light soaring. You see the Leviathan, which I think is the Leviathan, that big ship about to eat a planet. That's what I think it is now. The new subclasses in constellations, which is really cool. The Exodus mission, which we said before, I felt like it did a great job making you feel weak, right?
Oh yeah.
I mean, I was really worried.
Oh, for sure.
I was really worried that those Cabal would see me and hop down and just wreck my shop. Like, I was like, oh no. And then you get the busted gun with no ammo. Like, oh great, I'm in trouble.
And the fact is, I thought it was very thematic and kind of a very almost ham-fisted things. Like the first SMG pick up, in the thing, it's called Sorrow.
Oh yeah.
I was like, yeah, that's about the feeling.
And when your ghost is like, listen, I can heal you. I can't bring you back. If you die, you're dead.
know, right?
And then they just throw a bunch of war beasts at you.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh no. The panic. And I'm so glad I have the music is turned on because the soundtrack is so good. it portrays like the powerlessness, the sorrow, the sadness, the happiness once you start going. By the way, that Falcon's a genius. I'm just gonna say it right now. Lewis is like next level smart for a bird, and birds are smart. And actually, it was quite funny that I said that too, when I was like, "Who the heck is Lewis?" when Desmond, you and I were playing earlier, I was like, "Who is Lewis?"
Falcon.
You're like, the Falcon. I'm like, "Oh, it's a great name for
His
a
name is
bird."
Lewis?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, that's the bird. It's a bird. Or boy. I can't do that accent.
Boyd.
The accent that, the accent that, whoa, God, what's his name? Mickey Rourke. That he used for Iron Man 2 as Whiplash. Bring me my Boyd. Can't do that accent. Oh, well.
I mean, the cutscenes, I didn't even care that there were so many cutscenes.
God, there were a crap ton of them, too, man.
Yeah, every time I saw that symbol, I was like, well, time to watch the speaker be a boss. Let's go.
Boss, nothing. He was a punk.
He told Gaul to kill himself.
Come on.
He told Gaul to kill himself. Let's just be honest.
He's gone, right?
In a
That was
super
the whole thing.
passive-aggressive way.
Oh,
Like self-sacrifice. Are you saying I should sacrifice? Try it. And it's like, just tell him to jump off a cliff or something. Don't be like all passive-aggressive. Maybe you should try sacrificing yourself for a greater cause, brah.
Did anybody notice that council? I guess that's the character's name. The teacher of Gaul.
Council, yes.
Council had the arachnid on his necklace, the helmet.
What?
Yeah,
No.
Or something that looks very similar.
but,
Because that's the same kind of like look to the ammo container for Sunshot.
really?
No, somewhat.
It looked like arachnid. That's what I thought when I saw arachnid. I was like, no. When I saw it, I was like, is that arachnid on his chest? That's pretty awesome.
I mean, hopefully not, because that'd be weird
well,
for something potentially made by us to also exist
well, unless he killed somebody that quick.
hundreds of thousands light years away.
I mean, who knows? What did you guys think of the environments?
I think they fit. I like the fact that Titan doesn't fully feel familiar. It's like there's shades of like Venus in Titan a bit, but like the way like Nessus feels like, even though it's like a Vex world, quote unquote. I mean, it feels more like Vault, like for sure. It feels like a huge vault of glass, efficient, essentially. And then Io, like holy crap, or is Io the crap? I'm getting my worlds confused now.
Loving the scenery.
Oh yeah, Nessus is Vex. That's right. Io. Yeah, I got him straight. Good God, sorry.
There's not that many planets.
No, but I just go by the planet. I can almost tell more. It's weird because I'm almost identifying the areas more by who the guide is, more so than the name of the planet or the area.
Okay. Yeah, that does make a little bit of sense.
It's like I can tell you Asher. You know, he's on a planet. It's Asher. Oh crap! I do forget the chick on Titan because she's fairly forgettable. IMO.
Sloane.
Yeah, Sloane. She's fairly forgettable. She's almost like a super extension of Zavala almost.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, would make sense because she is like whatever of the Vanguard.
Alex, what did you think about the environments?
Oh man, I'm loving them. I just love how vast most of them are. You can see from one end to the other. And there's just everything that pops up, and there's always something to do on the random pikes that show up. Just I don't know. It feels way bigger than anything else. I mean, EDZ and Nessus alone are just ridiculous in how big. You got upstairs, downstairs, underground, everything. There's every little nook and cranny you can find. There's something a little bit special there too. It's pretty awesome.
I remember when I first landed on I want to say it was Titan. Yeah, because it was the next. It was right after. I mean, Earth was amazing when you go to the EDZ, looking around and stuff. But looking at Titan, I was just looking at the water, and you see some by the ships with that weird. I want to call it a hive torpedo looking thing, like the spike. There's like. It looks like a sea monster is in the water. Have you guys seen that yet?
There's a sea snake on Titan.
Okay.
Apparently.
Okay. I was bugging when I first saw it because I kind of was just looking like, ooh, look, there's ships over there. I wonder what the heck is that? Is that a sea monster? What's going on? All right, cool. Because that's kind of like a callback to on Venus, the creature. I don't want to call it the Ahamkara, but the creature that was in the air circling over top in that one area.
Yeah.
I thought was a nice little touch. They're definitely laying the story down ahead of time. One of the scannables that caught my eye. By the way, I wasn't mad about the whole Taken coming back. Just because Oryx is gone doesn't mean the Taken are gone. There's a power vacuum. That's all we did.
Massive power vacuum.
Oh, massively.
And oh my God.
Yeah.
Am I looking forward to the outcome of what's to come?
Lay it on him, Raven. I set this up for you, buddy. I put the ball in the air. I said, set, and then here you come. My Iceman and Goose, baby. Let's go. Give it to him.
Now, as some of you know, I tend to be very hungry when it comes to aspects of story and certain hints. So loading into a strike that has something to do, like the strike's name is something Savathun. Okay, it's a Taken strike. All right, so Savathun's coming, like Bungie's leading up Savathun. Everybody saw that like a mile away, either Savathun or his other sister. Next thing I know, I'm going through adventures, and it is actually with Asher. And he's talking about possibly taking Vex, which should not be possible without Oryx. But yet, it's happening. And the person you're chasing is a knight, who is the knight, like those that have listened from the beginning might remember the name of Curia, which would be a Vex that Oryx took. And now, Curia has servants coming out and doing things, which is successfully taking Vex, which is another thing entirely. So that's going to be an incredible war to witness. Like, one of Oryx's sisters, plus basically one of Oryx's toys. Like, the mind of a Vex with the power of the Taken? That's going to be an interesting culmination.
I remember the adventure when I scanned the little orb, and it was, it was like a little tiny orb, the Taken orb, and it was like, it's whispering something to me. It's whispering out to the ether, and I was like, that's weird. So I go to the next one, and it's like, bloop, bloop. And this game loves to give me scannables, so I'm going to look around for it. And I'm looking, and I look underneath like a ramp, and I see it. So I slide under, and I grab it, and it's like, I can hear it now. It's saying 3 syllables, Savathun. And I dropped my controller, and I was like, where is she? Where's Savathun? Where? Where's Eris? And then I was, the little light bulb went off above my head. And then the Herald of Savathun shown up, and it was a Taken. And I'm thinking, there's no way all of Oryx's siblings are Taken now, right? I mean, he wouldn't have taken. Not? I mean, yeah, he could have taken his sisters too, I guess, but I think.
That's the thing, because his sisters were the closest thing to him.
Yeah.
And Savathun, I mean, her entire bargain is to be cunning. She must be cunning or she will die. like
Yeah.
Oryx had to learn, but Savathun, her contract is to be smart, is to be cunning, devious if need be. I mean, so yeah, she would be the one next to Zebu. Zebu something. Crap, I can't even remember her name anymore.
Ziva
But yeah, that's what I was thinking. But yeah, Zebu was just strong. So chances are, I don't know. But yeah, it just makes sense.
Now, Raven, I already know this answer, but for the listeners, what class did you start with?
Hunter.
Titan.
Hunter all the way.
Alex, what did you start with?
Striker Titan. Titan.
Titan as well. Okay. Getting your powers, the subclasses, I should say, was really cool. You know, you get the artifact, you fill it up, and then it's like, oh, go to the the little shard of the Traveler that somehow no one has found, and go to the Haunted Forest. You go to the Haunted Forest, which is also a very awesome environment. It has the little glowing fungus. Was that from the Traveler, the shard? Is that why that was growing?
No.
I mean, that's what I
That's
thought.
deeper. That's deeper lore. That because yeah, they're the glowing like plants and such, and yeah, it's. I mean, from what Hawthorne tells us, the entire apparently, like, I'm not sure if she was talking about the Dark Forest itself, but she mentions that it's called a dead zone because of the shard of the Traveler.
Mm-hmm.
But the only thing called a dead zone is the European dead zone, which we also don't know exactly how large the European dead zone is. It actually could be a very small portion of Europe instead of the entirety of the continent, like I was originally thinking. But yeah, so there's at least a chunk. I mean, it's described as being corrupted light. But my question is how? Because there was actually a mission in D1 where we stop the hive from corrupting and draining light from a shard of the Traveler.
On the moon, right?
Mm-hmm. It ended up being a mission that didn't lead anywhere, but when they restructured it, when Taken King Destiny 2.0, they had it lead into the Dark Below story.
Yeah,
it's kind of it was one of the gateways into it. So yeah, so I'm wondering if it's just something that happened on its own, or is maybe if it got tampered with, because it is also like the first time you go there, it's like a lot of Fallen, but every subsequent time it's like Taken.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much, it's like a Taken, and even in the patrol itself, that area tends to be like where Taken public events tend to happen. It's like up to the north in that patrol.
Now, getting the subclasses, you see the little mannequins of light.
Yes.
And it tells you a little backstory about the class the new subclass you're getting.
Oh, you mean about half of it from the Grimoire of Destiny 1?
Uh-huh.
Which, legitimately for hunters, like I have started my Titan, as of recording, and I've made it. I have the melted hammer. I have not quite filled it up yet. So I don't know like that lore, but legitimately hunters for some reason, like especially going into, in particular, Golden Gun, like that's a lot of freaking reused Grimoire cards in that walk. A lot.
The one for Striker might be my favorite, because you hear the story of how Lady Aphrodite threw Saladin, picked him up, threw him at a spider tank off of a tower, and he, thunder punched down and destroyed the tower, which was awesome to hear the actual story. She says, "I never miss," which is great. The hammer, I mean, my least favorite subclass, so I'm maining Sentinel. Striker's fun. Getting the subquest though, standing in the light, getting basically unlimited super, it's fun. It makes you feel super powerful. I don't, not like it. What else is there? Oh, now, true RNG fashion, we're hopping around a lot, right? Gaul's ultimate weapon might be one of the greatest ultimate doomsday weapons of all time. The Almighty.
Oh, I mean the Sun Crusher ripoff from the Star Wars Expanded Universe.
That's why it seems so familiar.
There was, well, alright, it's not exact, but yeah, in the Expanded Universe, there was the Sun Crusher, which fired a specialized torpedo into a sun that caused the sun to go supernova to destroy entire solar systems. But yeah, it's been done, but it's interesting.
It's still pretty cool, though, right? I mean, let's just be honest.
The interesting part is the fact that for certain fans, that super weapon is kind of shaped like a giant H.
It is.
Yeah.
With the energy
kind of like
tethering it.
Kind of like Helios. Borderlands, Hyperion's space station.
I know.
It's a giant H that is capable of pretty much death beams.
Really? They made a giant H?
Yeah, it's a giant... Well, it's Hyperion.
Oh, okay.
A very egotistical, self-centered company that made a giant space station in the shape of the letter H for not only their company, but then they called the space station Helios.
Nice.
Yeah.
I guess I need to play that.
But, yeah, I thought that was, hilarious. But, yeah, it's, the Almighty is probably... not a great name, but my God, that's
a good backup plan.
It's not even a backup. That's just the plan.
Yeah.
You hear that's how they take over. That's how they take over. They take whatever they need and then they destroy the solar system. It's all right. Because that's a lot of question on that actually people in lore had in D1 was the Grimoire card that made mention that the Cabal blow planets up for getting in their way. And it's always been the question, how? We have that answer now, or had, before we wrecked that answer entirely.
Now, we're going to talk about the public events, because public events are all the time and all over, the map... A little bit of beauty right there. The map shows everything. You can fast travel. Fantastic. I'm super happy with that. Being able to travel anywhere. Beautiful. Not having to go to orbit to drop down. You can just go from one to the other. Great.
And the fast travel points seem very fairly spaced out. To where you're not traveling too far to really get anywhere in the outer reaches of any individual fast travel station. I feel like they did... the fast traveling is a really well-balanced thing, I feel.
Now, have you guys dove into Lost Sectors at all?
Well, you know that answer.
Well, yeah. For the sake of the listeners, that's why I asked the question.
I was about to say, you can share that story.
Yeah. I've done a few Lost Sectors. Dez is we were running around the EDZ. Dez is have you gotten this Lost Sector over here? I say no. And he was this is my favorite one because of the environment. Now we go in, and I agree. It was probably my favorite environment. The glowing lights in the ceiling, the bioluminescent, I don't know what it is. I want to say moss, but it's probably just fungus. I love Lost Sectors. The only thing are there any ones that are they seem short? The ones I've done.
They seem super short, but at the same time, it's Sorry, the Bungie came out with a description of them, but at the same time, or at least I never like scaled their terms down to like, Destiny sized like terminology.
Mm-hmm.
Because even though yes, strikes are very similar to like quote unquote dungeons in MMOs or Lost Sector, should I say? It's just the fact that they're just massively like scaled down. So it was somewhat of a true statement, but at the same time, like I do feel because there's a lot of people, or not a lot, but I get the fact I can see how people would not be satisfied by their size. But at the same time, I find myself liking them because some of them can actually be pretty challenging because some of them throw a crap ton of enemies at you.
That's what I was going to say.
Well, if you're by yourself, they can be challenging. But some of them are just incredibly, incredibly easy. But what they remind me of are a lot of the nooks and crannies that existed in Destiny 1 that had, like, no purpose. It's like the segment that started... It's where the Saber Strike actually started. Where one of the doors to Rasputin's bunker laid. That had actually been in the game, in Destiny 1 from launch. But it took until, like, I think Taken King for that area to ever be used. But I feel that's what, like, Lost Sectors are. They're putting, like, a loot chance and... They're putting just something, like I said, there's a loot chance, the boss is still there, which is just like, anyone that has played Destiny 1, is like, especially since the beta, finding the cave that has a yellow bar ogre in it. But now it has like a reward attached to it, like a really good reward too, like legitimately.
Yeah, I've never had a Lost Sector not pay off with something higher light level than what I am. They're always perfectly rewarded. That was one of the questions I asked on our Discord. Brother Eli asked if I've done any and what I like and what I don't like about them. My only gripe is that some of them seem short. I would like them to be varied, but it's a very small nitpick. I love them in general. You know what I mean? Not like the argument or the uproar of the consumable shader system.
Oh, good grief. People can just...
Why?
Yeah.
It's okay. It really is. If that's your only complaint, Bungie did a fantastic job. Right? I mean, am I speaking out of church here?
No. I mean, I personally don't understand why the thing... I mean...
Alex, what do you think about the consumable one, system? The mods and the shaders?
Not a big fan of the mods. I think the mods is a little weird. It feels like it is putting behind a lot. Like, you have to grind out a lot more just to find the right mod to put into your thing. I like the diversity of it, though. I feel like you can actually set up something really nice and make a big difference in it. But it's not liking how many options there are. There's too many, I think.
That's fair. Because, I mean, there's... Okay, alright. Well, that is one thing that I guess we could use to, I guess, cover. Because the mod system is one thing that we did kind of speculate on.
Mm-hmm.
And it's weird, at least on the armor, that it is like the armor pieces are like super focused on. I mean, to the degree that like it's like leg armor, like it's these specific things. Hunter Cloaks can get this thing. Warlock Bonds can get this. I mean, it seems super specialized, and I kind of wished they didn't specialize it that deep, really, because it seems like a lot of hassle.
Just make the system more open.
Yeah, like just have it work on armor.
Yeah.
I mean, because that's like. See, I'm not, because like weapon mods work on pretty much any weapon. Like whether it's, well, all I have is actually damage mods. Actually, I think that's all there are for weapon mods are damage mods.
No, there's loader mods too, for like kinetic, energy, and power. I think.
No, I'm just talking about the weapons themselves.
Oh.
I think there's just elemental types on that are swappable from like elemental stuff. But yeah, like the armor system, I love some of the perks.
I don't know.
They do make a difference. It's like, extra stability on your kinetic weapon, or extra reload on energy or whatever. I mean, I like those, but like I said, I just wish it was a little more open.
I'm actually looking to see right now if there are any mods that are other than the elemental for weapons, because I don't remember. I probably should have wrote them down. I know for armor there are a bunch of mods.
Oh yeah, there's a crap ton for armor.
But I know for a fact there's elemental, which turns I don't know if it turns a kinetic into an elemental.
No. Okay, kinetics have mod slots.
Yes.
But the mods for kinetic is the fact, I think it's just for the fact that it can, they can support legendary kinetic mods, which legendary mods add a +5 light level to your weapon or armor. Which I think that's why kinetics actually have mods.
Now, just for clarification, if I had a kinetic weapon and I threw the legendary +5, the legendary mod on it that gave it a +5, could I use said weapon to bump up my exotic to that level?
No, because the +5. Okay, all right. And this is one thing that just in case you're wondering, or listeners are wondering, the +5 from a mod attached to a weapon doesn't count as the weapon's base light level. So let's say you have like a 270 weapon, but it's actually a 265 with a +5 mod, and you try to infuse it into like a 210 legendary you have, then the legendary you have is only going to go up to 265, because that is the base light of the weapon you're using. And all exotics actually have this +5 mod, like by default, also.
The only mods I have for weapons thus far are elemental. And So that's yes. There we go. As for the the consumable.
Consumable shader. I mean,
I like it. I that's the one thing I said in the beginning, if you remember, that I want to make my weapon look different. I want to be able to slap a coat of paint on her so she looks, my Scathelocke looks different than your Scathelocke. You know what I'm saying? So I'm happy with it. The fact that I can color my my ship and my Sparrow. By the way, really, really not a fan of that whole walking for 20 levels. But it made me miss my Sparrow and really appreciative when I got my Sparrow. And for a guy that, as you guys well know, I hate Sparrow Racing League, I was like, man, I really miss my Sparrow. And when I got it, I was zipping around happy as a clam.
Yeah. Now, like, from what I understand, a lot of, like, the thing about the consumable shaders is people don't quite understand that shaders don't just come from, like, what Tess may decide to give you or Eververse. There are shaders that come from everywhere.
Gunsmith.
You get enough. Yeah, you get enough. Like every faction package has a chance to drop a shader.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I like my shader inventory right now is I have 33 out of 50 different shaders. Now, a lot of them are only like 2. But like a lot of the more common ones, I have up to like 11 of blue geometry, which was kind of mad at me.
Yeah, I have.
So I mean,
Yeah, I have 16 of 50.
yeah. So I mean, you can get like quite a bit of shaders, but at the same time, like yes, tracking down specific shaders will probably be a pain. But at the same time, like people were wondering what people would grind for without weapons, right? Well, here's one answer of what you can grind for other than weapons: more shaders.
And here's the thing. Typically, correct me if I'm wrong, Raven. When one does the raids typically have a special shader, right?
Normally, yes.
Now that will get you to play the raid every week, wouldn't it?
I mean, it's quite possible. I mean, because this could be like, the master plan that Bungie always had like all along,
Mm-hmm.
Like they say, weapons have a fixed role, which, yeah, weapons have a fixed role. I am noticing, though, that every once in a while, because I had like 2 of the same fusion rifle drop with a different elemental mod. I have had that happen, yeah.
Yeah.
Like mods might seem to be a little more random, but then again, they're just mods, so, yeah. Which, like I said, for weapons, is mainly elemental like types, and there are sometimes I'm getting armor with some mods or no mods. So there is, I mean, it's not really like grindworthy because at the same time, mods are another thing that's kind of easy to come by. I cannot wait for the raid to release. Not only just to try the raid, but apparently there's like a mod conversion system that if you have enough blue mods of a specific type, you can go to the gunsmith and convert it into a legendary. Like if you have 3 of the same blue mod, you can convert it into a legendary if you're at 280 light.
Yeah.
But we can't, or at least I haven't been able to reach 280 just yet.
Nope. I'm sitting pretty at 237.
272.
Yeah, I'm forever 272 as well.
Good lord.
Maybe 272. That might actually be. Oh wait, no. Oh, 273. GG. PvP.
Ah, okay.
No, legit. I'm actually getting like 277s. No, 277. No, well, 272. I got a 272 like chest piece out of PvP and a 277 cloak. But I think that was a faction package. Yeah, that was a reward. So yeah, never mind. But yeah. Like it seems PvP might drop a little higher. I don't know, like if there's an upper cap of that as well. And for those that are playing PvP, recreate D1 vanilla and throw on an auto rifle you like.
Mm-hmm.
Auto rifles are okay. They're not super OP, but they're pretty strong. Pretty good.
Yeah, the Scathe Lock you can get from the gunsmith. If everybody remembers the Scathe Lock from the beta, and that's where you can get it from.
Yeah.
Even
then you have things like the Valacaden, which is actually very nice.
Where do you get that from?
Ikora.
Okay, so you gotta play the missions.
Yeah, that's from her. What you call it?
Her story missions. The memories.
Yeah.
Which is
or meditations or
meditations. That's right.
And there's so many freaking things. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, there's so many things to redo. Treasure maps, Kate's treasure maps, which are fun to find because you're like, where are they? And there's always like a little jump, duck under, looking something, but they're highlighted in glowing light, so it's kind of easy to find.
Yeah, they do have like pillars of light, and like, hey, over here.
Yeah,
But like legit, like there's a lot of things that are like very different, but at the same time, there's a lot of things that are just the same sort of, because there are no daily bounties to do, there are no bounties to really do, but there are challenges that kind of take the place of daily bounties. There are, instead of daily story missions or specific story missions. Spoilers once more, but once you get back to the tower, Ikora can give you meditations to do, and like they seem to be weekly 3 missions you can do for her. I don't know though, like for those listeners that have been around a while, you may know that Buster and Raven are kind of pretty good at the whole patrol thing.
A little bit.
Legit, I just might be a hardcore patroller in D2 because with all the changes that they made to the patrol scene and just like loading in and the fact that you don't have to stop. I don't know why you're dancing, because again, it was me and you running patrols in D1, so
I'm happy I have my partner back, that's all.
What do you mean back? Like I said, we always ran patrols.
Well.
But no, it's like, because I played a few strikes, but it's like I can get the same kind of rewards doing public events that I can track, and I can like break off and like, oh, there's a lost sector over here. I can get some more stuff, and oh, I can do this patrol, and oh, hey, here's a region chest over here, and like, oh, here's normal loot chest, and oh, hey, here's another patrol. It's assassination. I can go over here, and oh, hey, this public event is coming up. Oh, there's nothing on this planet right now. Let me just open up my director, Nessus, travel over there, boom, boom. Oh, hey, patrol right here. Oh, public event coming in. I love it. It is like pretty efficient. It's fast. I really love, like, a lot of my grind to like 260 was primarily patrolling. Get this, like, quote unquote, getting raid ready using patrol.
Yeah.
Win in great, I mean, I never thought that, everything, all the options, public events, heroic events, lost sectors, like all this crap, I didn't think was actually going to be a viable option to keep, like, your light level, like, keep it coming up. But good God, like I said, that's been my, like, primary jumps, is, like, public events, patrols, using patrols to get friggin' faction packages, because by God, if you have a little over 20 tokens, like between 20 and 30 tokens, well, there's a level right there.
Yep.
There's a package, like, guaranteed.
Yep, and every planet and every, I don't want to say quartermaster, but every liaison has a different set of weapons. And a different set of shaders, if you just look.
Yeah.
It makes me the happiest that you can just patrol again. Because, as we all know, hardcore patrols were my thing. I mean, Des and I, we did hours and hours of patrols.
Yeah.
And now we can actually do patrols until, 280? Light, you think?
Oh, no, it's 265. Because, there's not a lot of things. There's not a lot of things that are going to get you past 265 right now. Which, again, more strategy for those listening. If you're looking to min-max a character, don't do anything that says powerful rewards until about 260 light. Because there's almost everything in the game right now can get you to 260 light with just a little bit of a grind.
Mm-hmm.
But beyond 260, and especially beyond 265, there's next to nothing that can get you further except for powerful rewards. Those are guaranteed to push you just a little further.
Which are like flashpoints, right?
Well, there's a lot of quests. There's
the Nightfall.
Yeah, there's the Nightfall that lists powerful rewards. There's your first Crucible quest line. After you do the Crucible quest to open up Crucible, you get another quest of like participating in Crucible for a certain percentage. That gives you powerful rewards. Christ, there's at least like 3 other powerful rewards I'm forgetting right now, and I can't like remember what. Christ, but yeah. So anything that lists powerful rewards, like I said, do them and open them at around 260, 265, and that probably gets you around the 270 range, because that's pretty much how I got to about 273. It was a lot of like powerful rewards and completed some exotic quests. That's another thing we ain't even gotten into. Exotics.
Oh yeah.
These boys over at RNG used to do exotic reviews, which
I mean,
holy crap.
they can.
There's a lot more. Again,
yeah.
Because I don't even think Bungie's API is like fully out yet, so their armory isn't quite functional. But holy crap! Like, just I've gotten a few of them.
Yeah.
I've gotten like quite a few of them.
I mean, other than the pre-order Cold Heart.
Yeah. Cold Heart, which
fun. It's a fun gun.
Pull it out for PvP for sure. It's one of those. It's pretty strong in PvP. I'm not gonna say it's OP, but it's got some strength. Let me tell you what. Especially if you can hold it on somebody. McGurk.
Between the Risk Runner, the Sunshot, and the Shadow Lance, what did you pick?
Oh, Graviton Lance? I picked Graviton Lance.
So did I. Alex, what'd you pick?
Graviton Lance as well.
Okay. When they give you the armor choice, Des of the Hunter, what did they offer you? Do you remember?
Actually, yeah, I do, because I ended up getting all 3 of them, like, in the long run.
All right, well.
But all right. So for hunters, you get the choice of something called Lucky Pans. What do Lucky Pans do? They like help you ready hand cannons faster, and they help with their initial accuracy. They're okay. Then you have Mechaneer's Trick Sleeves, which increases sidearm ready and reload speed. Okay. But then there's a nice little chest piece called the Raiden Flux, which quick successive attacks with Arc Staff increases damage output and duration. Yes, please. That's what I picked.
Alex, you're a Titan. I know their choices were the ACDO feedback fence, which we all know. If you take a melee attack, it blasts them. The Doomfang Pauldrons, which those that don't know, its perk is the Horns of Doom. A shield bash melee kill recharges shield throw. Melee abilities recharge Sentinel super, shield super. It's given by by Sloan after Hope on Titan.
Yeah.
Or the Acetum War Rig, which I'm just going to read it and then you guys take a guess what I picked. SETI reloads a portion of your equipped auto rifle's magazine from reserve. Just take a guess on which one I picked.
Oh yeah, I saw that, and like that, like the War Rig has Buster written all over it.
Does it ever?
Legitimately, it almost piqued my curiosity enough to pick it.
I picked Doomfangs though.
Did you pick Doomfangs?
So did I.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, me too.
I just wanted to keep throwing that shield as much as possible.
Yeah, I actually picked Doomfangs myself on my Titan.
I picked the War Rig. I'm fine. For weapons, other than the ones we got given, the dragon inspired rocket grenade launcher.
Fighting Lion?
I want to say yes. I don't even know why I'm bringing it up. I do have my game on because we were just looking at it, so I could just easily bring up my inventory.
Yeah, because there's a lot of information.
The Cold Heart, and I think I have I definitely got the Borealis,
Oh yeah, I was there when you got that.
Yeah, which was super super fun because that's just a random drop from an Ingram because it was like I got an exotic Ingram. What should I do? And Des was like, well, it's stuck at the light level that it drops at because it doesn't care about your light level anymore, which I can appreciate. You can't just hoard Ingrams like a crazy person. I don't appreciate the fact that Strange Coins haven't made a return, but I have a sneaking suspicion. I don't know if they confirmed this yet, but the legendary shards are going to be the Zers.
That's what I hear everyone saying, but again, I have also not heard Bungie confirmation.
Exactly.
Like, Bungie might have said it and I missed it, and also at the same time, like some of the people I've heard from are not ones that I normally call liars because they normally have good information. So I'm going to agree with the assumption that legendary shards are going to be Zer's choice of currency.
Fighting Lion.
Yeah, Fighting Lion.
Yeah. Which, I mean, it looks nice. It looks, I mean, it's a grenade
Gotten
launcher.
a few.
Yeah. What have you guys got?
Actually, I can go over that. I have gotten, well, when it came down to the choice of the Graviton, the Risk Runner, or the Sunshot, like I said, first time I definitely did pick the Graviton Lance because it's what we didn't play with in the beta. So I gave that a shot. I ended up getting a Risk Runner to drop. And when I went through my Titan, I picked up the Sunshot. Hard Light. I was able to get a Hard Light to drop.
Nice.
Hard Light is, let me tell you what, I like the slight changes that they've made to returning exotics. Like I said, Hard Light being one, it's really cool. But Hard Light through, yeah, I think that's. Oh yeah, and I have went through like certain quests. So I have Sturm, which, as far as I can tell, is the appropriate way to pronounce it. Because I can't tell if it's German or like Danish or something or Polish, or one of those regional languages. And I also I have my favorite weapon in D2, which is kind of also my favorite weapon in D1. But I have Mida.
Yeah, I saw it might have dropped.
Yeah, I have Mida. And let me tell you what, it's pretty much the same. Like, that's something that they really haven't changed. It's still Mida.
16 in the clip though instead of 21.
Yeah, but you're only losing 5 rounds, and you're getting high caliber rounds back.
That is true, and it does wreck in PvP.
It is a 5 headshot now, thanks with the lower time to kill. But yeah, I'm not complaining. It's still smooth. Like, it's still like great. I love that gun.
Yep. The only gun you guys didn't mention that I have is the Ward Clip Coil. So the dubious volley that everybody.
Oh yeah.
I picked that. I got lucky with that one when I beat the story mission. I got the exotic Ingram, and that's what it turned into. So I was pretty stoked about that.
Right.
Oh, I did get the Prospector.
What is that? I want to
that
say
is That is Tex Mechanica's grenade launcher.
Ooh, nice. Have you noticed that Tess Everest is selling a gold sweet business?
I have it.
Well, yeah, there's ornaments.
Yeah, there's ornaments, by the way.
I mean, so yeah.
There's ornaments. I got a couple. I got one for the Darcy, which I haven't had drop yet.
There's a bunch I haven't quite had like drop yet that I have, like, because I have a total like 3 ornaments. Of course I do know. Oh yeah, I do have the. Did I get? Yeah, I do have the gold sweet business ornament. That's funny. Anyway, I got one for Merciless, and then I have the Jade Countenance for Fighting Lion, which actually looks jacked.
I also have Doom Marchers. I forgot I got the Doom Marchers too for legs.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing those back. I want my Celestial Nighthawk back.
Yeah, when I saw that was on the list, I was like, oh, so Des is going to go get the Celestial Nighthawk somehow, some way.
Can you imagine a precision hit?
Yeah, with a Celestial
GG.
Yeah. It's going to be a fun bunch of times coming back.
Oh, I was actually able to play with them's tattoos, and I watched him get a Celestial Nighthawk to drop, and my God, does it do damage?
Oh, I bet
Still.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Still, it probably does a ton of work, right?
Oh my God, I want it back, and it looks better now because the front piece, like by default, is like this nice gold texture. It's like, oh, yes, I want it.
We mentioned the heroic modifiers for the public events. Have you guys done one yet?
I've done quite a few.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I've gotten pretty good at a few, getting them up. Glimmer drills, as such, there are. You can follow a trail of glimmer from the drill to a storage container, I guess it could be called. If you destroy the storage container in the area before you kill all... Well, actually, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't really have to be before, because these storage containers, if you miss one, they actually transfer to the next location. But if you end up destroying all of them before you clear out the public event, you'll turn it heroic. The Cabal drill, there's a ship called a Thresher that will pass through twice. So you have 2 times to melt it down, destroy it. That will give you the heroic for that. What was the crap? Those are the only 2 like public events that are sitting on my mind right now. Oh yeah, Vex sacrifices. There are plates which any Year 1 Destiny player will recognize these plates. You have to stand in them to get them to do a thing. They fill up. You get heroic. Now, one thing, now this one's interesting. The giant servitor, the ether overrun ether catch. I think they mentioned a catch with high ether readings or something like that, like to signal the public event. But it's a giant servitor, and in like the encounter, like the giant servitor will have a smaller servitor shielding it. And then after that, it will spawn 3 transport servitors. If you can destroy the 3 transport servitors, then it gets transferred into a heroic event. And those are the ones I know offhand. So, Buster, you have the others.
Weapons, there's 3 orbs, like shields holding 2...
Oh, yeah, the tank.
Spider tank, yeah.
Yeah, the spider tanks. What you have to do is when you drop the spider tank and it extends its neck, it drops sparks. You deliver the sparks to 2 kiosks they're generators that generate the force field. Once you do all 3, another tank drops, and then you killed both tanks. You get that.
Let me tell you what. That one's a surprise to get heroic without realizing. Because you're facing a spider tank, and it's like, oh, cool, spider tank. All of a sudden, heroic event joined. Second spider tank drops. Wait, what?
For the witch's ritual event, you destroy the 2 shielded crystals by standing on the circles. There's
that's what the circles are for.
Yeah, that's what the circles are for. Think trading off in the old raid for King's Fall. Trading off the mark and that. Think that. The Taken Blade event, this one's difficult. As the event spawns, there is a 1 main blight, which spawns several small dome blights at its side. If you step in and out of the smaller blights, you'll receive a buff called Blight Receding. This allows you to damage the main blight, which is otherwise immune. Doing enough damage to the main blight will spawn a new boss called the Blight Maker. If you kill him, that causes.
Okay.
I haven't seen that one yet.
And the Cabal ejection rig. After killing each Scion, vents will expose themselves on the outer side of the rig. Shoot and destroy that. 3 sets of vents, and the heroic difficulty will trigger after the 3rd vent is destroyed. All that you have to do is kill the elite with the Super Bar Elite. And that's how you do the trigger that.
Okay, the Blight, I've been a part of a heroic Blight, but I didn't realize like what was happening to like get that, because the Blight Maker, like that just suddenly like popped in. But yeah. And the Excavator Drill, those two I definitely did not know.
The Blight Maker is the first heroic I did. I was running around. I saw dudes running in and out of it. I'm like, "What are you guys doing?" I ran in. I saw the buff, and I started. I threw my grenade and started damaging the main blight. And then the Blight Maker came. And I was like, "Well, I'm just gonna kill this guy and see what happens." Actually, what I did was I hid because I was like level 9, and they killed him. So I got all the gear.
Yeah, public events hurt at level 9.
It doesn't matter what level you are. Those red lights around the drill, that hurts regardless.
Oh my god, that like. Okay, I've said how much I love these public events, but low key, like sometime maybe in the near future, Cabal excavation drills. Mm-hmm. I'm probably gonna end up skipping those quite a lot.
A lot of times I heard mistakes were made, and yeah,
it's that's one. I like that. I love what they've done with public events. They feel really good, like especially compared like. And it's hilarious because there's talk within the public event, like about what's happening. And all they're doing is they're bringing all this side story that they've already had to the forefront. Also, but it is just amazing that they're doing it. I mean, it is, okay, I've been one that have been, okay with the Grimoire and with it being outside of the game. I've never really complained about having to go outside of the game. But legitimately, it's a bit of a better experience when it's all right there for you to experience at the same time. So, it's a touche. Probably like 90 or 85% of the Bungie or Destiny community.
Also with the Cabal extraction, pay attention to the epic war beast that shows up. There's a legendary war beast that shows up that will wreck your shop. Please pay attention.
Yeah.
It literally says on the bottom, a howl fills the air. That's the war beast showing up. You got to kill that as well. That also drops.
I've seen it like twice, and I got wrecked by it every time.
Yeah, I think we were together when it showed up, and I was like, "There's a war beast. There's a war beast," and you're like, "No, it's in the front." I'm like, "No, there's the one I'm hitting with my sword right now. Help me!" And then you're like, "Oh, that one." So, yeah,
it's like, hey there, friend.
Yeah, what are you doing, buddy? As I'm melting it with cold heart, what are you doing? You just stay there, you silly goose. Now, Bungie was nice enough to give us a month warning, a month of information, because I'm pretty sure they're tired of Bungie doesn't tell us anything. So, we're going to cover that now. As you know, the Nightfall this week is Arms Dealer. And I haven't played the Nightfall because I just cracked 230. So if anybody did the Nightfall, please let me know what the modifiers are. I know they're Prism, Time Warp, and Killing Time.
I love these modifiers.
Talk about them. I don't know what they are.
Prism is a very interesting. It's kind of like a replace. It might actually end up being a replacement to the burn system. Mm-hmm. Now what happens is Prism. It's like you're going to start on an element. And, like, the game is going to tell you, like, arc energy, like, empowers you or whatever. Whenever you use weapons that deal, or any source that you use that is arc, is going to be enhanced. If it's not arc energy, it's decreased.
Oh, no. Does it change throughout the strike?
It changes throughout the entire strike. It is musical chairs of elements. It will switch to every element. It does not affect kinetic damage. Kinetic damage will stay the same, which of course is kind of bad against shielded enemies. But and it does not affect incoming damage.
Just your damage.
It's just your damage that's getting, and you have to play musical chairs with your damage types. That I found super, super interesting. And I love that mechanic because, again, that's why I was actually playing with them, Tattoo, because me, Converse, and Tattoos was running the Nightfall to try and like pass it, which I was not able to do in D1, was do week 1 Nightfall. I don't think I was actually able to pull that off. But we actually passed it off, but we couldn't do it that great because killing time. All right.
You forgot
this
time
would be,
warp, but killing time.
Well, yeah, but here's the thing. Like, they kind of brought Nightfalls back. Nightfalls have a time limit. If you do not finish the Nightfall within time limit, you're booted back to orbit.
Oh. Ooh.
So yeah, you can die an unlimited amount of time as long as you have time. But as soon as you don't, you got to try again from the start. Which I think is a great balance between what the Nightfall was and what they turned it into. Mm-hmm. Because it's challenging, which that's the bad thing about time warp killing time. You only start with like 11 minutes. But every enemy you kill adds to your time.
Oh. That's
red bars? Yeah, red bars add like 2 seconds. Majors add like 7 seconds. So you've got to juggle. It's like, if you can take out a trash mob fast enough, you can accumulate a lot of seconds and keep your time up. But of course, if you're taking too much time on an enemy, you're wasting time.
Yeah.
So it's like a constant juggle, but it's like super. Like I said, just the start of this, like these modifiers, I am looking forward to what other nonsense they have coming with these Nightfalls, man.
So time warp shortens your time? Is that what it does?
Yeah. I think it shortens your time. I think that's the actual description is you start with less time, but killing enemies gives you more time.
What does killing time do?
Well, the time warp killing time is that modifier.
Oh, okay. I thought, I didn't see the...
It's a semicolon.
I didn't see the punctuation because I guess I'm going blind in my right eye. The flashpoint this week is the EDZ. I didn't know that. I'm like 99% done the flashpoint, and then I saw powerful rewards, and I'm like, shit, I don't think I can do it. And then I realized I'm not going to be able to play for a little bit because I have to go to work early tomorrow, so I might as well get the powerful reward just to rank up faster. Now, next week, week 2, starting on 9/12, the Nightfall is the Inverted Spire. We all played that. Real quick before we move on, because we're RNGing the crap out of this. Alex, did you do the Nightfall?
No, I'm going to do it today, though.
Okay, cool. I was going to say, do you want to do it with me? But then I remembered your Xbox One. Not holding that against you. You're still
I was about to say, I would help, but console barrier.
Yeah. Fix it.
No.
The modifiers for the Inverted Spire week is Momentum and Time Warp Rings. Now, that makes me think that you're going to be running through rings a la Sonic. just to get more time.
That sounds very interesting.
It does. Or holding or stepping on rings, sort of like the Vex rings. Because the Inverted Spire is a Vex strike, right?
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it is.
Well, it's a Vex end, yeah. It's like a Vex and Cabal mix, but yeah. It ends with a Vex boss.
It's gonna be like a rift.
Yeah.
Like, the little rift you find on Essus.
Maybe.
It could be. I mean, that's... Oh, okay, so I'm just saying... Yeah, okay.
What could Momentum be?
I don't know. That's... Momentum isn't, like, that big of a clue. I mean, Prism... Like, legitimately, when you think of Prism, like a rotating elemental burn isn't quite the thing I would think of. Like maybe, but momentum, I legitimately can't like ping to a thing.
The more time you have, the more damage you do.
Maybe.
Legit,
Yeah.
legit. That might actually be That's interesting.
Yeah, that might be it.
That would be challenging too. Like
Yeah, when
accumulating time just to do bonus damage to get to her quicker. Oh my god! Like that'd be. Oh my god, that'd be.
And in the back, and then if you think about it, the counter swing, because every swing has a counter swing, the less time you have, the less damage you do.
Yeah, exactly.
So you could just be kicking down with the boss with no more trash mobs, 2 minutes left, and you're hitting with headshots doing 3.
Oh,
I mean, yeah, that could. Oof.
Think about that. Yeah.
That would hurt some feelings.
That would hurt. Oh, bad butt hurt all day. The Nightfall Guided Games beta begins, so Guided Games will start. The Flashpoint will be on Nessus. On the 13th, which is a Wednesday, the Leviathan raid launches.
Why a Wednesday, Bungie?
I don't know. That's a good question. We talked about the Leviathan raid. I think it's going to be that big open mouth fish ship. That's what it's going to be. Because I think that you can see it from the farm, I believe you can see it from. Like a big open area. Or, I don't know. I could be entirely wrong, and it could be something entirely different. On the 15th, which is a Friday, Trials players, the Trials of the Nine begin.
Which was another confirmed leak thing, apparently.
Which is Countdown on Eternity.
Which, yeah, interestingly, Trials players, Elimination isn't Trials anymore.
Nope.
Get used to the competitive game modes.
Yes. And Xur returns with a selection of exotics. Des and I were talking about this earlier. Alex, I want to see what you think. I don't think that Xur will be going to a social space. I think he will be somewhere in the wild.
Really? I'm thinking it has to be social space. It can't be wild.
But then again, if it's a social space, you have fragmented player base.
Yeah.
Because, spoiler alert, there's 2 social spaces in Destiny. But once you move on to the second one, the other one becomes barren.
Well, Xur doesn't offer anything that the beginning players should have or need.
So you're saying
Xur's going to offer to the higher end people, the people that have beat the story missions and got you to that second platform.
Also, by the wild, I mean, sorry, I should have explained this. I mean by the maybe by where the liaisons are, like by Asher or by Sloan in that area. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Not like in the wild. That's ridiculous.
I've heard one rumor, not rumor, okay, because I mean, who knows by now? But I've heard one speculation. But yeah, I've heard one speculation that's possibly the fact that Xur, this would be completely trolly if it happens, but maybe Xur is in a lost sector. Mm-hmm. A random lost sector in the world, and Xur's hiding inside it. But that'd be downright trolly.
Oh yeah, no one find him in the week. That'd be ridiculous.
Yeah, my buddy Chicken Fingers is with you guys. He's saying he's gonna be with the vendors on each planet or on the planets. So with Asher, Fennel,
yeah, that would make sense because, I mean, I don't know, because there's a lot of I don't know. Because Xur's never actually made sense anyway, according to lore, because he's just... I mean, lore is the thing that's Xur wasn't actually technically ever allowed in the tower to begin with, but they never stopped him from showing up either.
Also, his will is not his own, as he has eloquently put it.
Yeah, but even then, like I said, the Vanguard knew that he was there, but they made no moves to stop him, even though they didn't really like him there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was a weird position. But then again, could they? Because who knows?
Now, week 3 begins on the 19th, Tuesday, with the Nightfall on the Exodus Crash Strike, which I played. And the modifiers are attrition and time warp anomalies. Now, attrition.
Again, time warp. I don't know.
I think time warp is just going to be what's there. Because so far in the 4 weeks, everyone has a time warp. Which I like that they gave you a way to add time. Anomalies makes me think you're going to be running through or standing inside of the taken anomalies. Who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. I have no clue. Now, attrition.
Now, yeah, I was about to say attrition. Like, if I can get behind designer mentality and such, attrition almost sounds like it'd be a new version of what you call it, where your shields don't regen, but you get a crap ton of shields.
Trickle? No,
not trickle.
No. I know what you're talking about.
I mean, trickle's another one that attrition kind of puts me in mind of, but I forget what it's called now.
Yeah, there's no health regen.
Yeah, there's no health regen. Well, I mean, there's no shield regen. Exposure. There we go. Thank you, Alex. Thank God. But yeah, attrition reminds me of exposure for some reason.
Yeah, I mean, it might be exposure plus the less life you have, the more a little damage buff. It seems like they like to do that. If there's one positive and there's one time, I don't know. I'm not Bungie. Never said I was.
No. That's scary. It's gonna.
Yeah, the Flashpoint is on IO on Friday the 22nd. Trials of the Nine return, and it's survival on the Altar of Flames, and Xur, of course. And the 4th week, which it begins on 9/26, the Nightfall is the
Pyramidion.
Pyramidion, thank you for that, because I could have butchered that.
Asher says it a lot.
Okay. Which is, the modifiers are Turret, and the time warp is 0 hour.
Now I wonder if that's if that time warp is normal, you know?
Yeah, maybe.
But again, Torrent's is that kind of like Catapult?
Yeah.
I mean,
maybe.
Crap. Like I said, these names
or maybe it's
aren't 100% indicative.
Or maybe Torrent is an increase of your super generation.
I don't know.
You know what I mean? Like a turn of energy coming towards you. Maybe.
Yeah, but then that'd be like Daybreak.
Yeah.
And that's a little too beneficial.
Yeah, for sure it is. The Flashpoint will be on Titan. The Leviathan Raid guided games beta begins. So, you get guided games for the Nightfall next week, and then the Leviathan Raid guided games. Now, here's the one. The Faction Rally begins.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Des, you and I explored the new tower and found all the faction areas.
Mm-hmm.
The Future War Cult, super easy to find. It literally is a Future War Cult room. We found the New Monarchy, which we both agreed was the most, what was the word you used? Fancy? Or fancy ass? Is that the word you used? I want to say it was something.
Possibly.
Or it might have been a biz word. What was bougie? Is that might have been what it was? It might have been a biz word. And then Future War Cult, or not Future War Cult, I'm sorry. Dead Orbit just had a small little corner where they're just going to be, it's like a camo net basically in a little corner.
Yeah.
But we looked around, we found them all, and then we talked about it. So, what do you think that this will be? Because I am...
Legitimately, I almost feel, because the original plan, like, or, one of the, I tend to say this a lot, and, like, people that party with me probably get tired of me saying this, just like a lot of listeners are probably tired of me saying this by now, but, D2 is a lot of original, like, pre-alpha, very early D1 ideas, is, like, what's making D2, like, from gun loadouts, and Faction Rally puts me in mind of, like, the fact that apparently, like, from what I can gather on information, like, one of the plans for Destiny 1 PvP was to have you to fight for specific factions. So this might be like a PvP modifier to get faction gear. Like, that's kind of what I'm thinking, but who knows, because that's kind of simple and a little meh.
I see it more as rep your set, pick your faction, do what you do, patrols, nightfalls, crucible, and then it's gonna add up point system wise. End of the week happens, then whoever's ahead of the game gets, loot, gets the action. Yeah, pretty much like a faction wars type of thing.
So sort of like how clans work, but with the faction. So let's say I pick New Monarchy, just for shiz and gigs, okay? Let's just say I pick New Monarchy, and a bunch of other people pick New Monarchy. I use that. I just reached into an example here, okay? And let's say over the week, New Monarchy gets the highest amount of rep, sort of like how clan rep works. And then, your faction had the most rep, had the highest clan faction level. Here is an Ingram. Is that what you think? Okay.
Yeah, that's how I'm seeing it. Just globally.
That's exactly how I saw it too.
It's going to be global.
Okay, now that idea has actually, I mean, I'm not saying it's a rip up for anything, but has actually been done in MKX. They referred to it as Faction Wars, but they had very specific, of course, in-universe factions that you could pick. And the more you played a game, I think Chicken Fingers might actually be onto this in our chat, but yeah, so you pick a faction like Lin Kuei, Black Dragon, White Lotus, Special Forces. I think that might be all of them. But the more you played, like did anything in the game, like towers or PvE towers, PvP fights, earns you faction reputation. The more you played, and the more people that played that were within your faction, the more points you got. At the end of the week, whoever got the more points unlocked very special like banners, player icons for being like how many times your faction has been, like your chosen faction has. They're like personal unlocks. So let's say even if you like switch factions and like still like get participation, because if you switched factions in MKX, all of your participation like reset to nothing. And if you'd already maxed out like your daily allowance, you couldn't like switch factions. So you couldn't like quickly hop on the winning faction and get credit for it. But yeah, so you got there was a list of unlocks for however many weeks your faction was in the lead. And they were like I said, they were player icons and like banners and crap like that, which sounds like it would be really interesting. But you also get the possibility of getting steamrolled.
Oh yeah.
And like one faction being drastically popular. And this is like the warning that MKX kind of had, because one faction was popular at the very beginning, and then it took for people forever to leave it because it kept winning and kept winning because people just went to that faction all of a sudden. But yeah, there's that like thing that could happen, which I'm sure Bungie would probably not be able to handle that too well. Because
I said the Destiny community doesn't let that happen. Our Destiny community is pretty balanced, where they'll see something overpowered and people do the little petition type fighting thing to use things that are against it type of thing. So if New Monarchy does come up and be good. I could see just the Destiny community's like, all right, it's Future War Cult week this week. Let's make them win. Or Bungie giving some incentive that way, like, oh hey, if you make Future War Cult win, this is what you get. Like here's bonus to try something else, try a different faction.
Okay, yeah, that would be a great Bungie creating incentive to change would be awesome. But as much as I would like to think highly of the Destiny community, which I do 85% of the time, when it comes to not picking something, because we kind of had in DRP we kind of had an instance of the what we call the Masterclass Cup, and the Masterclass Cup, it was literally a tournament that was thrown together, that was to discover the Masterclass, like Masterclass or crap like that. So it was supposed to be an official thing, for bragging rights essentially for anyone that basically won the tournament. But yeah, we had a lot of Titans that signed up, a lot of Titans. We had so many Titans sign up. My particular team of hunters had to go up against. We went up against nothing but Titan opponents. So yeah, that. I mean, yeah. It was rough whenever you're, especially when one team is smart and intentionally doing things to try and tilt you so they can win in a friendly competition. Still love you people. But yeah, a team of 3 shoulder charging striker Titans. I didn't want to get salty. I might have a little bit. I might have a little bit. I try not to let it show, which it might have a little bit. But yeah, that was a rough match. And it didn't hurt. It didn't help that my first match was actually up against freaking Arrow Knight. Love you, buddy. Freaking No Land Beyond. Freaking impossible snipes here, there, and the other. And it's that's when you get aggravated at people for being good.
Well, on Friday, the 29th, Trials of the Nine return, and it's survival on the Emperor's Respite map. So a map...
It's definitely one I haven't played.
I must say, a map I've never played. Now, hear me out on this one. Ready? In October, new challenges will continue to arrive, including the Iron Banner, and new ways to test your prestige. New ways to have your prestige tested in the raid. So, Iron Banner comes back, which we all knew, right? We all knew the Iron Banner was going to come back.
Oh yeah, there was a gear showed off in the trailers and such.
Yeah, the samurai gear, right? And the prestige in the raid. Now, do you think that's going to be? Is that the new way to say the hard mode? Or
yeah, because it's Prestige Nightfall is the hard mode.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I was going to say, or do you think they have challenges?
No. Hard mode is basically Prestige, but the bad thing is one thing I have heard about Prestige, aka hard mode, is loadout locking.
Yeah, so there's no switches.
Prestige Nightfall. The loadout you use going in is your loadout. Prestige Raid, the entire raid, whatever you choose to walk in with, is what you're finishing with.
No, but they strictly said, though, that the raid wasn't going to be that way. Because they didn't want you to grab something cool from the raid and then having to tell your crew, well, hold on, I got to go back to orbit and come back in to load this new gun that I just picked up in. So that can't be it for the raid, though.
I mean, again, I don't put full faith into sources that have no direct connection to Bungie, and even if I knew anyone with a direct connection to Bungie, if they're my friends, they're probably apt to troll anyway. So I probably still wouldn't trust them entirely. But that's just what Because the reason why that sticks out to me is because I would love that. I would adore that. I mean, a lot of people would hate me because, are you really wearing that? Are you really thinking you're going to use that? Like, no, you take that off. Take it off. There you go. There you go. All right, now we can start. Like, I would be kicking people out of fire teams. I mean, like, if that were the case, because I can be, I could be a little, I could be a bit of a douchebag. Be a bit of a dick.
Chicken Fingers in the chat has a good idea. Maybe it's locked instances.
Locked instances?
Yeah. Like, one section. Yeah. I mean, that's...
Oh, yeah. That would be interesting, like, those locks for specific sections. But at the same time, those people, like, sometimes I can be accused, especially in normal modes, but if it's hard mode, and you're just getting a drop and you're wanting to, quote-unquote, experiment, like, in Wrath, it made sense because, well, alright, it didn't make sense in a few cases, but at the same time, it's like, before using Multiply to level up a weapon, that wasn't very kosher, right? But it didn't matter. Like, once Taken King came around and, like, you can use modes to, like, quickly level it up, that didn't matter, true. So I was getting a little... But yeah, you ran Vault of Glass and you're using an unleveled Atheon's Epilogue. What are you doing?
It's going to go from must-have Gallahorn to be a full loadout, must-have this.
I know,
this,
like...
And this.
That did cross my mind when I heard it. Like, you're gonna... Like, that's another, like, point also that's... They're not going to do that because... Yeah, if they locked loadouts, like, for the entire raid, yeah, you're going to have those douchebags in LFG. You know, well, if you're looking to, or, you know, you go to join a raid and LFG is like, well, if you're looking to fight with us, you're going to have to use this, and that. You're not wearing, why aren't you wearing it? Get out of here. Look for someone else. You're going to have those douchebags, which, yeah, this community is great as a whole, as a major, but, you still have instances of major douchebags out there.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we all remember have to have Gallahorn days.
Yeah, must have.
Right? Oh, you have the truth? No thanks. No thanks. Just sit over there. We're good.
You'd get lucky if you had Hunger of Crota. Then it's like a 50-50 chance. You're like, all right.
Yeah, no, right.
You might.
Well, I mean, I got Hunger. Mini Gallahorn.
Yeah. For just, I think it's safe to say the spoiler warning is now down because we're not. I think we should wait 1 week to talk about the big thing, considering we had info in the spoiler section.
I mean, like, we're not gonna go like full. I mean, definitely be on the lookout in the near future for lore segments coming back because Ermagers are so freaking much to talk about there.
Yes, indeed. So, 1 hour and 36 minutes in, I have noted it down, which will be in the notes, that the spoiler section is now over. Next week, however, we will be talking about the big reveal / teaser. So finish the game and we can talk about it next week.
Indeed.
I gotta say, guys, I am pleasantly surprised about this game. I really am.
It's nice.
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah.
Bungie, it's kind of bittersweet, sweet to a degree, because D2 is a good game. Mm-hmm. It's got storytelling. It's got the mechanics. It's got the gun feel that Bungie is good for. But it does remind me, it does leave like that taste. It's like, if things hadn't went wrong, if whatever happened didn't happen, this
would have been Destiny
could
1.
have been Destiny 1. And like I said, I love this game because this is, you know, I don't care if you see it as a sequel or not, because this is Destiny but better. Like, you can call it whatever you want, but it's still a better game than what we had. Like, pretty much by leaps and bounds.
Oh, 100%.
So, like I said, I don't really like to think that, well, you know, but at the same time, it's like, how crazy popular could Destiny have been if this quality is what we had on vanilla?
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Yeah. It would have it would have destroyed many games. I think if this was the quality we had when Destiny 1 near the end, when some people were like, I'm just going to go, like me, I'm just going to go play something different, you'd have still been playing this game.
It's possible.
Yeah. I mean, if I don't know, do lost sectors regenerate and move? Or once they're gone, they're gone?
No, they come back. They don't move, but they come back.
Oh, they come back. Oh, okay. Well,
I think it's a weekly thing. Like once they're discovered, then you can rediscover them again a week later.
I've been able to go back within hours of going into a lost sector and getting loot again.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, you can't run the same sector over and over again.
Yeah, well, that's good. You can't just run the loop. That's, that's basically Loot Cave 2.0.
No, but they only drop blues.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So maybe like that first lost sector is like where the bang is. I don't know. Yeah.
We could
Either way, I still enjoy doing them because,
it's fun.
like I said, you get those occasional lost sectors that like the environment drastically changes. Like I found one near Firebase Hades on in the EDZ. It's called The Pit, and it looks like a freaking mechanic, like a car mechanic's pit, basically.
Nice.
And it looks a motor pool. That's what I'm thinking of, like military. It looks kind of like a motor pool.
Oh, with
area
with broken down vehicles everywhere.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, you got like a tank that they're working on and crap, and it's just like a crew of them just hanging around. So I mean, I like the fact that they're taking these small areas and like trying different things. That's another reason why I really like these lost sectors, because, like I said, they're fairly rewarding. They're pretty fun. They're kind of fast, and you can actually enjoy like the scenery behind, like that one, like my favorite one. I will keep going back to that lost sector. Like, let it drop only blues. I don't care. I want to see that bioluminescent cave again.
Yeah. The tree. That's what I call it. The one under the tree.
That's
how you can find it. I think next week we'll be more specific because we'll be able to learn, the areas, the names and such. But I was writing down notes. I was just in awe of the game. I had a lot of fun playing. I mean, I did most of the story solo, but it was fun at the end. You're at the end? I'm hopping in. Raven hopped in to defeat Gaul. Spoiler, you defeat Gaul if you didn't know. I'm pretty sure most people would have assumed that. That doesn't require a spoiler, but I'm going to say spoiler anyway. And then, it was, I'm only doing this, to finish the game with you, but so I can hear your reaction to the ending, which we'll cover next week. We'll give people time. So, final, I want to say what's your rating for Destiny 2? Just the base. What do you think?
For me, it's a solid 8.5. I feel like it's missing something, and I'm pretty sure that's just the raid and trials. As soon as I get the taste of raid and trials in me, then it's game over. It's going to be a 10, because what more can you ask from the story that it has, and from the patrols that it has? I mean, it gives you so much things to do. Like if you're not a PvP player, then there's plenty to do, and you can get up to those high levels because of it.
Desert.
Well, I had felt like from beta that it felt solid, but of course I did have my nitpicks during beta, and those nitpicks were completely, utterly, totally removed. Ammo has really not been a problem unless I overuse one particular weapon. Then I tend to run out of ammo for that weapon for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Power ammo is sometimes a little ridiculous. I'm going to say there's actually some times in some of these encounters, like public events in particular, that I will be full on power ammo and I'll still have like 5 bricks of it laying around. Like, it's a little ridiculous with how I've been playing on power ammo. So that's definitely been fixed. It's hilarious because one of the first strikes I did was the Spire. Like, literally one of the first strikes I loaded into was the one we had in the beta. So I had a direct side-by-side comparison. And he feels so less spongy. It is. I mean, they really did tone him back. They did a fair job because he's not too easy. He can still take some beating. But yeah, so the nitpicks I've had are completely gone. That can nitpick certain things and like not like certain things, but at the same time, like I said, this is head over heels, very much better than D1 vanilla, or even even better than Rise of Iron. I mean, better than Taken King. This is right now the pinnacle of Destiny, I feel, and hopefully it will go nowhere but up.
There was a little spike in the recording, just right as you said your rating. Can you say your rating one more time?
About an 8.5.
Okay. I just noticed it. That's why I reacted like that.
Yeah.
I was like, oh no. For me, I think I'm gonna follow right around the 8 region. Seems good. I mean, you can say 8.5. I mean, that's really we're all pretty much in agreement. There's something missing. I can't put my finger on it. Then again, this is also the base game. Once again, when the raid happens, and I don't really play Trials, so that's really not, twisted my fancy. But maybe with the expansions, which I guess we can cover that next week. That way, we can get verified information. We don't want another Reddit incident. But yeah, I mean, it's a great game. It's fun. I don't think I've ever gave a game a 10. I think a 10 is like unattainable almost.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost impossible to have an actual perfect game. An actual 10 out of 10 is, because I mean, even some of the games I've had in memory, it's like I wouldn't even give Final Fantasy VI a 10. 9.6 probably.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
I wouldn't give Rogue Galaxy a 10, and that's my favorite game. Yeah, that's a 9. Yeah, 9.5, 9.6 maybe. So I promise we teased at the beginning of this episode the Tick review. So I'm just gonna give it. They rebooted the live action Tick on Amazon, and I can say I was a massive, huge fan of the cartoon, which I believe, Raven, you were as well.
Spoon!
That is correct. That is my assumption as well. I can say it. Do you remember the one with Patrick Warburton in, I don't want to say early 2000s?
Oh, it was like 2001.
Okay, it was okay, good. So I got my timeline right.
Yeah. Because the original Tick series was 92 to 94.
Okay. So this one is way better. It's short because I guess Amazon didn't want to drop a bunch of money on a long season if it was going to fail.
Well, that's the thing. This is only half the planned season, too.
Mm-hmm.
Amazon actually has a season of 12 episodes, but they have only released like the first 6.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but yeah, they are planning like a full season of 12 episodes, yes.
I think it was they were trying to test the market. Like, they put their finger in the air, too. See if the wind was blowing. That's what I think they were doing. And I watched the pilot, and I was hooked. And then the first episode, the official first episode, happened, and there was a costume change. The Tick's costume got better, and they mention it like, you look different. You know what I mean? And I was like, this is it. This is good. We're good. And by the time, like, the 6th episode, I was, where's episode 7? What's going on? No! And on the pilot, my girlfriend, she was not paying attention. She was on her phone playing bingo or whatever she was doing. And by episode 2, she was asking me questions. Which is how I know she's interested in things. Because if she's never seen it, you know, she's a little bit younger than me. She's quite a few years younger than me. I don't think she remembers the Tick like we do. You know what I mean? She's in her mid-20s. Let me just say that. So she doesn't have that fond memory of the Tick like I do. And she was asking questions and all that. And when Arthur dresses like a moth.
Mm-hmm.
She was like, "Oh my God, that's so cute. He's dressed like a little moth man," and I'm just, type of thing. But she gets into things. She got me into some shows. I got her into some shows. From the 6 seasons, I can say this is, once again, I'm gonna say 8. I gave the Death Note movie a 4. Because the Death Note movie, spoiler alert, if you watch the original Death Note, it is not the original Death Note anime or manga. It is basically Final Destination with Death Note characters. So,
I mean,
yeah.
Essentially the idea behind Death Note as well.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I mean, Death Note is something, I'll go back, but Death Note is something that never caught my attention because I read the first chapter of the manga, and, you have a Shinigami that's a god of death, and this kid comes up with his notebook, and he's able to kill people. So, for justice, he's killing, prisoners, but he's not listing, a type of death, so they die of, heart attacks, and he's calling himself a vigilante. It's like, you passive-aggressive, emo piece of crap.
It's even worse live action.
I never continued Death Note because it's meh of a start.
Yeah.
But Tick, I have not seen because it's a live action show. And personally, I don't know if Tick can maintain the popularity to keep a live action show going. That's my worry. If anything, I'm not worried about really being good or bad because with a character like the Tick, how can you really go wrong? Just make it super satire. As long as you don't try and get serious with him, you're pretty much keeping him with the spirit of the Tick.
And they do well. They do the satire is all over the place.
Oh yeah, it's pretty much also basically how the Ninja Turtles started. For those that don't know, hilariously, there's a lot of parallels to the Ninja Turtles and Daredevil. Because Daredevil's sensei was called Stick. What do you get off of a stick?
Splinters.
The evil organization that Daredevil fights is called the Hand. The Foot? Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was a combination of popular Marvel comics and crap, and actually I thought that was hilarious. It was yeah, it does make sense, but so that's pretty much how the Tick got started. It was that kind of satire, and in his original comic, he was an escaped mental institute patient playing superhero. So as long as you keep in that line, there's no way you can go wrong with the Tick. But like I said, live action puts a lot of strain on a series. There was a lot of times Stargate SG-1 was a great series, but it was almost canceled. In fact, I think it kind of was canceled 3 different times just because of the budget of the sets and how many places they go and how many sets they have to use, which was the exact same reason for Enterprise. Actually, is it just couldn't quite maintain the ratings to justify keep going. Yeah, that's what I worry about. I'll probably eventually watch it, but yeah.
It's good, man. It really is. I mean,
like I said, I'm not doubting
I enjoyed
it.
it.
Just,
so
I just don't want to like get into it, and then all of a sudden it's like canceled.
Yeah.
'Cause there's only like 2 douchebags watching the series by now. It's like,
there's 2 guys. There's only 2 people watching this entire series, and I don't understand it. One's in the South and one's in the Northeast. I don't get this. How is this possible? What's going on? How are they rewatching it over and over again? What's going on? We can't cancel it because they pay for it, but god dang it.
Yeah, that would be a.
That would be our luck. Just
I know, right?
you and I just
watching.
Just fireflying it. Bring back the tick. We want spoon. Every day, mail Amazon, the CEO of Amazon, 1 plastic spoon. Just we can keep this up until they run out of plastic. Can you? Just every day. Just slowly but surely he'll go nuts. Just why spoons? But it's good. Alex, did you see it? Have you watched it?
No, I stayed away from it.
Okay.
I don't know why, but I don't have Amazon Video or anything like that, so
Okay.
I'll never go see it.
I think every week one of us should pick a series, not to watch. You don't have to marathon it. Just if it's several episodes, just watch the first episode of a season of this first season to see, just to give reviews on it. Because if you would have been like, oh, we're gonna review Buffy the Vampire Slayer, it's like I can't take a week off. I can't do it. I've seen them all. How about I just watch the first episode and the last episode and just fill in the blanks? How about that? But I mean, that's something we can do at the very, very end of the episodes. Because, I mean, this week, I don't think there's going to be any Paladins talk, because, Des, did you play Paladins?
No.
Alex, did you play Paladins, Alex? No.
Definitely not.
I mean, yeah, between D2 and the new job, nah. Paladins took a hit. I mean, that and, thankfully, they're a little, I mean, we're going to take a slight off week because probably in another week and a half-ish, delayed it because OB58 did drop, so we have a little bit of time before most of our listener base can play OB58, so...
And we do actually now have a Paladins-focused podcast, the Paladins Pals podcast, that's, I think we're going bi-weekly. That gives us more time to test out the champion and let more information drop. So that's, we'll talk short Paladins on this show because we're not beholden to any set series, but we can go really, really in depth in Paladins Pals for Paladin Pals with Xenofan 711 from the Barely a Destiny show. But that and I got an email like, you guys will talk about Paladins all the time, and I was like, not all the time.
As we've said, if we get into anything, we're gonna give you guys a warning.
Yeah.
Because we do understand, like, yes, from the beginning we wanted RNG to be an unchained talk show, essentially, where we report on things that we enjoy. But at the same time, it's like, well, we enjoyed at the time, Destiny, and Destiny, and Destiny, and Destiny.
Yeah.
But we do understand, like, we broke out as a Destiny show, essentially. We're not going to abandon that until we abandon that. Like, until Destiny becomes, no, I'm not touching that, if it ever happens. I liked it when, I think it was Fallout Plays, made a video. It's like, you know what, expecting people, like, Destiny has a large 10-year plan. Expecting a person to actually write out that entire 10-year plan, like, for content, can be a little ostentatious, I presume would be an accurate word. But
presumptuous,
like I said,
would be another one.
Yeah, presumptuous. Thank you. So, yes, we're going to stick with Destiny, and we're still going to report on it because we still, like, Destiny 2 dropped. I don't know about you, Buster, but I'm pretty hooked again.
Oh, dude, I'm a mark.
I mean,
Yeah.
I
was talking.
I'm going.
Yeah.
As usual, I'm going to be a little open for other games. You'll still catch me on Paladins on occasion.
I'm about to boot it up when we're done. I'm about to get some Victor in because that's what we're doing next week. That's what we're reviewing next week for Paladins Pals, Victor. Or if we play together, I'll let you play Victor because you have the cosmic skin, and I'll play Inara. I'm okay with my role. I play my role, people. I know my role.
So there's that, and like I said, if we get into things, we're going to bring it here because this is kind of our platform to connect to you and bring you the things we enjoy. Essentially, like if I could word that properly, would that be a fair assessment of RNG?
Oh yeah.
So, but at the same time, because we did start so hard on Destiny, and like I said, right now we're going to keep going hard on Destiny. Like that's confirmed, 100%. RNG is not leaving Destiny behind just yet. Not like it's. If they keep improving like this, like legitimately, it's going to take a massive pile of crap of a Destiny release for us to just drop it. Like I'm just going to say it.
It's going to take something bad. It's going to take something for me to just be like, what is this?
Yeah.
It's going to be like it's going to be a video of Deej like. Basically, even then I might still play just to be like, all right, man, I'll just move that to the side because. The fact that they wrote us so many they in the credits by the way
there's like 4 different freaking thank yous.
Yeah, I was like they care, you know what I mean, and I care because you care, and I'll shout out the person who wrote us the message expressing if we're okay. Gorilla Golf 1987. He wrote me a message asking what's going on because we asked for feedback. He actually tweeted at us 4 times about the feedback, and then I asked for clarification. He gave it to us, and I love that. We love hearing from everybody. The fact that he wore our shirt to E3 means a lot. We're never going to change. This is it.
No.
Yes, when Biz leaving kind of did messed up the dynamic.
It threw some funk in there, but at the same time, like we're kind of growing. I mean, me and Buster, we got this because we're still us.
Yeah.
But yes, there is a missing piece.
And Alex, I mean, as much as you were supposed to be like the silent,
the silent partner.
You're not silent, dude. We're okay with that, and I love it because you have the Xbox side of things. You know what I mean? And your view of the game is different than my view. It's different from Raven's view, and it's different from Biz's view. Biz was
Biz was bougie.
Yeah, he was the bougie one. He didn't want to put ketchup on mac and cheese, which I had the other day, and it's fucking delicious, okay?
Gross.
Blame me. I'm sorry. I was hungry.
There goes half of our listeners.
I eat pineapple on pizza. You can't blame me. Okay? If you didn't leave because I eat pineapple on pizza, you're not going to leave because I had mac and cheese with ketchup one time. Jesus. I worked out. I was hungry. It was there. And it was more barbecue sauce than ketchup anyway. I didn't know. I was like, what is this? And she was like, ketchup? I'm like, all right. Why did you say it questionably? What is it? Because she loves to make
Heinz 57.
No, I don't. Yeah, it
not
was
quite ketchup, not quite steak sauce.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's what it was. It was like a steak sauce. It was weird.
Okay.
It was delicious though, and I was like, I'm gonna eat it because I just came back from working out and I'm hungry. And as Raven, you said, the lore segments are coming back. The food talk is coming back.
The lore might take a little bit because, I mean, it is tragic. There's no Grimoire, boohoo. But
we'll figure it out.
It's just I gotta look a little harder because there is no Grimoire. Like it's in the game, so that means I gotta find crap to scan and then put it together. Crap.
Crap. And if you want us to do the exotic reviews, we'll bring back exotic reviews. If you want us to do weapon reviews, it's easy for us to get weapons now. We can just, hey, get the
and we can actually give
done.
That's the thing because we solid rolls, solid perks. We can actually give finite, do's and don'ts and whys and why nots of why weapons are or are not good. Like, it's legitimately, as soon as the API opens, Because again, like there's nobody really with an API out there. It's like I'm really going to be diving in. I'm going to be starting to collect information again, and like getting some information. But like right now, I'm playing the holy balls out of this game. All of my hunter subclasses are unlocked 100%. I'm 273 on my hunter. I warned you guys on the show that I was going to go hard on D2, and I surprised myself how hard I actually went.
Yeah, me too.
Within like 2 days, I'm probably raid ready on my hunter.
Put it this way. Destiny 1, the Lady Buster hated when I played Destiny. Hated it, because she was like, you shut off. You shut off of the world. I got Destiny 2. Shout outs to Fred Bob Bazooka. There's your second shout out. Beginning and end. Bookcase it. Let's go. She said, are you going to play your game? I was like, no. We're spending time together. We're watching a show. And she was like, I'm going to go lay down. It's cool. You can play your game. And I was like, I'm going to go play my game. Because when someone goes, you take it. You take it. And, just as a little spoiler, not really a spoiler, little hint, there will be a Destiny RNG Year 2 shirt coming out soon. We just have to iron out the details and design and pick what color scheme and all that, but, I mean, we've hinted it out a bunch of times.
Soon, but
not soon.
It'll happen.
Eventually, I should say. We don't want to be like, oh, here's a t-shirt. Here's a t-shirt.
Yeah,
here's a t-shirt.
We got some weeks away.
We got weeks. Yeah, exactly.
And also for those, because I was asked by one person, that's like, are y'all going to do something special for episode 100? Honestly, I don't think so, because that's only like 4 episodes away from year 2. It's like that'd be weird to have like a big milestone of 100, and then like 4 episodes later, like, oh, it's 2 years now. It's like, I think it would probably be best maybe to hold off until like the 2nd year mark.
That's yeah.
Because
episode 100
is a nice
dope.
round number, but it's so close. So close to 2 years.
Can you wait a month?
Can
you just wait a month, really?
Give us 4 more episodes. Like if you've been listening to us for 104 weeks, like you're not going anywhere, and we love you. If you have only at the point in time been listening to us for like 2 weeks,
we still love you.
Hopefully you're not going anywhere, and yes, we still love you. Unless your name happens to be Converse or Burning Wing, we still love you, but come on. But no, I mean, so yeah, so give us a little time. Like I said, it's just there's so many like milestone options, and like I said, yearly things, or maybe like 200 might, probably not though, because that's still close. I don't know. It's weird. Podcasting is weird. Doing weekly episodic things, it's weird. Okay, I'm rambling now. That's probably not good. We're probably gonna get another thing on Reddit on how we can't talk. Oh crap! I wasn't supposed to mention that. Dang it!
Yeah, Cheeto fingers. Come at me. Yeah, I just wanted to address that. At the very end, we usually do a little heartfelt thing. It's good to have Alex. Alex is, it's good to have you on because you're so, hey, I can help you. All right, cool. What we're gonna do is you're gonna do like a young Jamie from the Joe Rogan Experience. Just come in every once in a while, and like since you started, you're just like, I'm just gonna be on. Is that cool? It's cool, right? Yeah, we want you on. We want to talk to you.
I just kind of threw myself in the mix.
Yeah, which legitimately also like our Patreons. We love you all. Just a little more because so far y'all have come in like super clutch for us when we've needed you. Fred Bob Bazooka.
Oh yeah.
Alex.
Average Joe.
I mean, all of you guys have come in like really super clutch. Not only have you been amazing people to know, but like I said, Fred, Alex, you guys have actually come in to help, and that's fantastic. And thank you.
Berg, you still get a shout out.
Yeah, Berg, we hope you're well. Um, you know, the area is in a bit of distress because we live in Florida,
Yeah.
hurricane. So our thoughts and prayers, anyone. I mean, your thoughts and prayers might have to be with me because I don't live that far from Florida. But
Also, any listeners in Houston, be safe.
oh yeah. Seriously, like that tragic. I mean, but yeah, definitely like. Hopefully, like if when they listen, like Bergen Forest, hopefully y'all are in good health. Thoughts and such are definitely with anyone that even knows anyone in that situation because that's no bueno, man. That's no bueno.
Not at all.
Like nature, you don't screw with nature, man. That's something.
So,
That's why Buster don't go camping.
nope.
I don't screw with freaking weather because, good God,
I also don't go in the ocean, so yeah, pretty
nature,
much.
man.
Nature's scary. I watch too many nature documentaries. And by the way, Ben, or Dick, as
Dick.
Raven calls you, I would love to narrate a nature documentary. And apparently there's a thing called Rabbit that you can do that with. So maybe that might be a thing I do. I don't know. Maybe Raven and I will do one just as shits and gigs, as it were. You know, be our normal RNG self while watching sharks attack seals and leap in the air, because that's terrifying to me. Watching
That's
air
gonna be like the
Jaws.
stereotypical joke of like quote unquote black people like watching like horror movies. Fool, that's why you don't go to the door. He's right there, right behind you. Run, type deal.
Hold
I feel
on.
like that's gonna be a lot of you.
Hold
That's why I
on.
said stereotypical. Okay.
No, that I went to go see it. No spoilers for it. Okay.
Oh God.
If you
Oh, no.
haven't seen if
Oh,
you
no.
haven't seen it, it's a miniseries. It's not shot for shot. It's a little bit more beefed up. The horror is beefed up.
Yeah.
Basic story, you know the story. We walk in, okay?
Oh God.
I don't do good in crowds, the PTSD. So we sit in the separate, in the new movie theaters, how there's the separate sections with the chairs.
Yeah.
So we walk in because I have to see the trailers or I don't go see a movie. It's just how it is.
Fair enough.
So we walk in, and there's some people sporadically around, and I see a red balloon just in the middle of the theater. And I'm looking, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? So I walk over, and there's just a red balloon tied to a cup, like a drink. So I'm like, all right. And in comes a guy in a yellow raincoat with the hood up. All right, cool. I know what that is. You're just, that's fine. A little weird, but okay. Then in comes a clown. In comes a Pennywise. And another Pennywise. And another Pennywise. And then another Pennywise comes in, and this dude makes balloon animals. Like he's a clown. And my girlfriend goes, and I quote, "If one of those clowns gets near me, I'll punch him in the mouth." And she doesn't say it quiet. She says it loud and sassy, okay?
Oh, of course.
Like, super sassy. And they all look at her, and they all wave, and she's like, "Oh, don't wave at me. I know you heard me. I'll punch you in the face." And I'm like, ugh, I don't want to fight clowns. Please, they're all going to attack me in mass. They all came in one car.
They all fit in that Prius.
I said it loud, and they all of a sudden I hear, and just laughter fills the auditorium, right? And I'm like, what? That's not a stereotype, it's truth. Every clown rides in the same car. You've been to the circus. They all come piling out of one car. Is that wrong? And there was a black couple behind us. And the dude literally says to me, "Hey man, when the movie starts, please don't talk." And I look at him for a split second. I go, "I'll give you that one. I'll give you that one." So we're sitting here, and then the movie starts, And then the commentary starts. And the commentary wasn't throughout the entire movie. It was just random parts. And it was the way Raven described it. Just, don't go in there. Your little ass is gonna fall. Stuff like that. And I'm chuckling. Like, I'm holding my face laughing. And the Lady Buster goes, are you gonna say anything? I'm like, you threaten clowns. You can't say anything to them. So, like, I turn around and look back. I'm like, hey, man, I get it. I know. You don't got to do play-by-play. And my man goes, shh. Now, the oven was preheated. Right? So I'm like, okay, I'm going to give him that one. Shh is passive-aggressive. Passive-aggressive, right? So then a scene happens, and the commentary starts up again. And I turn around and I'm like, we all see it! We all see what's going on. We know. And the dude goes, oh man, am I being loud? I'm like, yeah, you're being loud. And the dude goes, and I quote, my bad, man. So I have to pound him. You have to. It's the rule, right? Like, am I wrong with the rule? If somebody says to pound, you have to pound. It's like a high five, right? You have to do it. So I'm like, it's cool, man, and high five it. So then the movie ends. I wait because Marvel trained me to stay for stingers. Good thing, right?
Oh yeah.
So we walk out, and the manager comes up to us, like walking towards us, and I'm like, what? What is going on? What is this? And he walks up to me, and he walks up to, me and the Lady Buster and goes, the couple behind you said they're sorry and wanted to give you this. And it was like a gift certificate or a gift card for 2 tickets to another movie. Huh. And I look over at my girlfriend, and she's like, that is so nice. And I'm like, it really was. It really was. And then a clown, runs up is like coming. They're filing out, and a clown walks up and drops a balloon dog at our feet, and she goes, "Now that's freaking creepy." And that was the end of our movie going experience. But Raven, you mentioning the stereotypical commentary brought that to mind, so I had to share that with the Revolution because, the fact that they all came in one. She says to me that my comic, like, I'm funny, but only when I don't mean to be. And I think that's the best way to be funny. Like, if you have to think about it, like, here comes a joke, here comes a joke, here comes a joke,
oh, yeah.
Joke. They're not funny. The fact that I said they're all gonna attack me en masse because they all rode together, that was just blurted out. So, that was my experience with it. Go see it. It's fantastic. 5 out of 5. Or 8.5 out of 10. Thank you. So, anybody have anything they want to bring up before we call this?
Not so much in... Okay, alright. So, I didn't check out Tick, but I did watch like a few episodes of the original series, animated series of the Tick. Let me tell you what, for it being old as balls,
It still holds up.
Yeah, it holds up. Because it's satirical, it knows it's satirical. It's supposed to be, like, the things that are supposed to be campy are the things that are usually hold up very well. But yeah, it's very funny. If you can find out if you can watch it in some way, watch it. It's an incredible watch.
There's ways. I'm not going to say any ways, but there's
ways. There's ways. The tube's a few. There's a few on there.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll be up there legally, but, it's an old series, so there's not really a lot of options.
Just like Street Sharks. You can watch Street Sharks.
Yeah.
Mummy's Alive. There's ways. There's ways.
Yeah, there's ways. And like I said, sadly, it's hilarious.
Alex, you got anything you want to bring up?
I want to personally say I am going to stay away from the whole show choice because I don't think you guys would like the shows I watch. I watch a lot of like Food Network shows, like cooking shows.
Whoa.
Do you
Hang on.
do you know the show you're on?
But wait. The ones I watch are a little bit different. All right, so what I'm on right now.
What, do you watch Guy Fieri or something?
No. I watch. It's a Japanese show. It's called Chef in My Fridge. I don't know if you guys seen this. It's on Netflix.
I haven't seen
That's
it.
where I'm watching it now. They pretty much go to these celebrity houses, take their fridge, and then invite the celebrities to their show, and they cook with the celebrity ingredients of their fridge. And
That's fantastic.
That sounds great. Sounds like Chopped.
It's the funniest thing because they have like a stack of like big time chefs already there, and they kind of like pick and choose who they want to fight against, like compete against, to see who can make the better dish for the celebrity. It's pretty awesome.
Wait, so it's like Iron Chef, but with like mystery ingredients, or
It's
Iron
like-
Chef?
It's Iron Chef with mystery ingredients, celebrity, and then the judges are pretty much the other chefs, but the person that makes the final decision is the celebrity, and he chooses which dish out of the two big chefs is the best.
So it's like Chopped Celebrity Edition.
Pretty much, but they're all Japanese like celebrities, so it's like nobody, American on there.
Well,
but,
okay, that's fair. Well, okay, yeah. So yeah, that's where the Iron Chef like thing came in.
Yeah, like,
Which,
the best part of it is the commentary and then the translations on a lot of them. You watch it with subtitles.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one.
I'm watching episode 1.
Like you
See that? Yeah, that I might be interested.
So.
Because I mean, I was watching like Iron Chef before it became an American like thing.
Yeah, me too.
So yeah, I really enjoyed that. And so I mean, I knew the name Bobby Flay before Bobby Flay really hit like huge on his Food Network stride, thanks to Iron Chef.
Yeah.
But then after he won Iron Chef, like his Food Network stride hit, and like,
He just blew up.
all right, you exist.
Yeah.
But no, like the show that got me into like, I mean, we've said it before. Alton Brown is like my
Brown. Good Eats, man.
Yeah, Good Eats was like, I loved it because I'm a nerdy dude. I tend to like consume details, and Alton Brown was a show about tossing out details, about the lies. It was the first show, and still to this day, the reason I know that people that are lactose intolerant can safely eat yogurt. Because something in the way that yogurt is made, the bacteria in the yogurt neutralizes the lactose. So, like, yogurt is a dairy product that lactose intolerant people can eat. And I know that, even though it's random as balls and probably will get me nowhere. But I know that thanks to Alton Brown.
Also, can we not sleep on Yang Can Cook? Martin Yang?
Fair enough.
I mean, that was the first. I remember going to my grandmother's house when I had chickenpox, and watching that show, going, "Oh man, this is great." And I think that's where like the food shows hooked me, because I watched Chopped,
Oh yeah, Chopped. Chopped.
Cutthroat Kitchen, Iron Chef. I try to stay away from Guy Fieri because I just want to choke myself.
Okay, but
Eats,
legitimately, like, the places he finds in Drivers Dine and Dives are great places.
I want to go there.
But yeah, his personality is kind of meh. I mean, not something I He's kind of...
Man versus
he's a little
Food.
weird.
Man versus Food is great.
Hey, members. Yeah.
The Anthony Bourdain. If that's delicious, that's fine. We're about done anyway. That was me commenting to Alex, messaging me that the stream is down. Apparently, we've gone too long. So
I have no idea why, but it's just like all of a sudden my internet's like, yeah, you're not streaming no more.
I'm also not going to cut this out the audio version. Podcast listeners, you get this little bit of background information because I don't cut anything out, even if it did happen. We want you to think that you're in here with us. That being said, this brings the 69th Giggity episode. I had to do it of the RNG cast to a close. Alex, why don't you tell everybody where they can find you?
Find me on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, all around the internet as known as Alex. Known as Alex, everywhere.
Including the RNG Discord, where you can talk to this beautiful savior yourself. in his nifty red-lettered name.
Yeah. For all
And
the
this.
patrons.
Hey.
But and this is your boy Raven. You can find me on Twitter at DES_Raven. You can find me on Twitch at the Corvus Nest, and you can search me out on YouTube at Death Switch Raven. Things will slowly get back to normal there because, again, new job, so things are going to have to stabilize. But things will be looking up and looking in proper directions again. Thank you those that have worried about me for this, that, or the other. You're all great friends. I love you all. And here's to me entirely changing my activity cycle and becoming a normal day shift guy.
Daywalker.
Right?
So normal.
Still feels weird.
And Raven brings...
Like,
oh, go ahead.
it's like the third day, like actual day. I've been awake all day, and it's like weird.
Yeah.
Still.
And I guess the new tradition will be Raven brings the episode in with some hype, and I'll take the episode out with some hype. Because it's Buster Knuckle, baby! You can find me on Twitter at BusterKnuckle13, that's BusterKnuckle13. On Twitch at twitch.tv/Buster_Knuckle. I'll probably be streaming a lot more now that D2 is popping, and Paladins, as always. You can find me on YouTube. Just search out Buster Knuckle. You can find this podcast, The RNG Cast, at The RNG Cast on Twitter. You can email us, therngcast@gmail.com. If you would like to support us monetarily, you don't need to, but we appreciate if you do. You can go to patreon.com/therngcast. At the $3 tier, you get the episodes early. And am I forgetting anything?
Follow the RNG Cast on Twitch at the RNG Cast.
There you go. Thank you, Alex. And this, whatever the term is the RNG Cast. I'm a sleepy Buster. We're out.
Later, man.
Peace.
See you all next week as I pull my ear that no one sees because the stream went down.